Sensei. Welcome to the show. Here with me in the studio live, I got above me, I got Mr. Krinlee. Mr. Krinlee's in the house.
Well, what?
And then I got NjordGod right here, catty corner to me in that direction.
What's going on, y'all?
And of course, I got Sensei Jon in the house. Sensei, what's up, man?
What's up with it? Doing my thing like I do it, man. Hey, Mr. Krinlee, you got a new mic?
That's
No,
what I said.
it's just normally not in view. I usually have it hidden like underneath the camera, but I switched where it's at so I can look like everybody else, you know.
All right.
Okay.
I don't look like everybody else. You can barely see mine. Let me hold it up today. I'm gonna hold it up right here.
Mine's over here on a little thing right here. Okay, so welcome back, guys. I mean, dad life is going long and strong here, especially during this time of year. So just want to say, we're back for this week. I was able to work on the pod, had a little bit of time to work on the podcast stuff, guys. So again, listeners, if you guys are out there following our social media stuff, there's some cool little posts I've been put out. I've been scheduling them. So anyway, check it out. I'm pretty happy with what I was able to do besides messing with the stream key of the actual stream. What's up? How's everybody doing? We feeling good? How we feeling?
Hey, I
We're doing really good.
Like how you. Oh, my bad. I like how you did those little quotes and stuff with the pictures and stuff, man. That was really cool. For the social media post, that was really cool.
Yeah, I was kind of proud of it took me kind of figuring out. We'll talk about it post, but yeah, I was kind of juiced about that. Everybody doing good?
Yeah.
Krinlee, you was about to say something.
I was gonna say I'm doing pretty good. I got this the other day.
What is that?
You voted?
Are you doing show and tell?
Yeah. Can you read it?
Is it early voting?
Yeah, it started 2 days ago.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Yeah, we still.
We already. You active?
Well, we're sitting on our ballots right now. I haven't even opened them up yet.
Oh, mine's too, man. They sitting off in the corner, man, collecting dust.
Right.
Last minute as usual.
Right. That's it. And you are got
a little confession. Oh, go ahead. I was gonna say a little confession. This is the first year that I've ever voted.
Hey, congratulations!
Okay, hey.
Give him a round of applause for Mr. Krinlee.
Let's give him the horns. NjordGod, what is that on your head? What is that? Tell us a little bit about that hat again.
Oh, this is only dads, right? I saw it on the TikTok shop. If anyone is actually interested in getting an only dads hat, let me know. I can direct you guys directly to the peoples. I've been seeing a lot of different versions and stuff like that, and I like this one primarily because it has a dad walking their child in the O, and I thought that was really cool. They come in a lot of different color combinations, so obviously I'm a girl dad, so I went with the pink and black, right?
Black pink in your area.
Right? I got home, I put it on, I opened it up, put it on my head, and my daughter was like, so I was like, yes, I scored.
Right. That is so cool when you do something and it legitimately brings out a positive reaction to the kids.
Right.
Yeah. Shoot, I went to one of our union meetings and they're giving out water bottles, right? So they're like, oh, hey, take two. I said, okay, I'm going to take two. So I bring them home. And then my son says, oh, what are those? And I was like, oh, I got one for me and one for you. And he was like, really? Oh, my God. And, he wrote his name on it and he was so excited. So I was just like, okay, yeah, that's a dad win right there. Yeah, that's a dad win right there. Okay, so our topic for today, kind of the last couple episodes have been really hot and heavy because that's what's in the news cycle right now. I know we're getting, like Krinlee said, we're getting close to voting day. So that's hot topic. So I want to kind of bring it back. One of the social media posts that I put up there again, the Shadow Pack West or the Sean Flac 2.0 or the Sensei Jons and yours, Mr. Krinlee's, putting all that stuff out there. There was a quote that came out and it was like dad communication. And it was like, did you ever tell your kids 5 more minutes? And that was code for 30 more minutes.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, because you needed
Oh,
the
man.
rest, or you needed.
My kid right now, whenever we're tell her to go do something, she's like, 1 more minute.
Yeah.
Oh my,
Turn
yeah.
on the
No.
timer. Just turn
Right.
on the timer. Can you start a timer?
Right?
So, I mean, that brought me back to like, well, what did I do when I was a kid? And, I wanted 1 more minute. And then, of course, I wanted to see, like what you guys did when you guys wanted 1 more minute. And then again, what you guys as dads are willing to give up those 30 minutes when they say, Dad, just 1 more minute. What is that thing you want them to be so excited about that they want to spend more time doing it? Obviously in your presence. And kind of just take it from there. Again, check in with you guys and see how you guys are doing. But before we do any of that, Mr. Krinlee, you got any beginning of the show shout outs?
No, I don't guess I really have any shout out. Well, I'll shout out, I guess, again, all like the linemen, the water workers, electric workers, and everyone who's still busting their chops to help these people in Western North Carolina, because there's still people without power and water.
Man, I'm waiting for the green light. I'm telling you that right now.
Right.
My company, I don't know if I told you guys this, but my company has actually taken a list of volunteer names that when we get the green light, we're headed out there to North Carolina to assist. If that happens, I'll still be here remote, but I will be headed out that way to help.
Yeah, and we appreciate that. We appreciate that big time because we need it right now.
Yes, sir.
York, you got any beginning of the show shout outs?
I mean, really just kind of took mine.
Sorry. I mean, I'm kind of in the middle of it, so it just kind of hit me.
You know what? I'm gonna actually add to yours, right? Tennessee got hit pretty darn hard as well. Mm-hmm. For those of you guys who didn't know, I-40 and I-26, the interstates washed away.
Oh, shit!
Full
blown gone.
Yeah, they can't be traveled on.
Yeah.
So there's no way to get to North Carolina except for one route when there used to be at least three.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So the guys who are out there working on all of that. I was out in Northeast Tennessee last week, and just kind of seeing all the damage that was kind of outdone there. Talking to some of my old colleagues that were out there, the recovery effort is in full swing.
Oops.
So it's pretty brutal.
Right. I don't know. I personally can't live there. Where I know every year we're gonna get smashed with something. I can't personally live out there because if I
so that's the thing though.
Go ahead.
That's the thing though, that the reason why this was so devastating. This was like a once in like 1,000-year event.
Yeah.
Where they came back to back like that.
No, it actually wasn't. It was all the same event, right? Yeah. That first hurricane was the only one that touched that region. Okay. Yes, and what it did is it overflowed. It popped a dam in North Carolina, and it sent all that water through the dams in Tennessee. And the dams in Tennessee weren't built to withstand that kind of water, and that's what caused the chain effect. So it was just one event that did that, and that hasn't happened ever.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. Oh yeah, like I said, I'm talking about Florida. Because my sister-in-law lives in Florida. One of my best friends lives in Fort Myers as well. So, they just every year. It's every year. I'm just like, I don't know. But okay. Anything else, New York?
No, I'm good.
All right, Sensei, what you got for us, sir?
Oh man. Shout out to the Lord Savior Jesus Christ, who's the head of my life. Same as him, man. Shout out to all the frontline workers just helping people get back in line, get back on track. Because, we all need that assistance and we all need that help. And those people that are not only working on the lines or just people that are assisting, donating and things like that, man. That's really cool of them.
Just be careful when donating. I do want to put this out as a PSA. Be careful when donating. There are a lot of scams going out there. Make sure you're going through a reputable source. Sorry, Sensei. I just wanted
No. Hey, he was right on par. So yeah, shout out to just those people out there just giving their life, putting their life on the line, and those who are helping. Whether it be food, clothing, or whatever. Shout out to them, and to you, my brothers, being here.
I got one more.
Go ahead, Njord. What you got?
Shout out to Vermont. Okay, and here's why. Vermont is one of the few states that recently jumped on the bandwagon to add water and wastewater workers to be listed as emergency first responders officially. So,
yeah, that's cool.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to them.
That's the thing about utilities. They are essential. And anything that has to do with those utilities, let it be water, gas, electricity, like all that stuff, that helps keep the cities going and stuff like that, or just in general infrastructure, they should always be, especially when it comes to natural disaster. So good on Vermont for doing that.
Now Arkansas needs to do it.
I know it sounds kind of maybe shallow, but like even internet now is pretty much essential, like, because the companies who are having to communicate, a lot of them might communicate with those means. Like the people in the office, like I know where I work, I had to be on call one weekend because, like a couple weekends ago, because if they needed help, like, because the system that they work on, they have to be on the internet to be on the system where they can give people okay to cut power back on, or stuff like that.
Yeah, infrastructure in general. One of our newer facilities does not have phone lines. Everything was over the internet, and we could not communicate because we still use fax machines in our company. And so since there are no phone lines in our new facility, we could not communicate with that new facility. And even their phone lines are voice over IP. So as soon as the internet went down, the whole facility went dark. So,
oh wow.
Yeah. So shout out to that. Like the way the technology is going, Krinlee, I'm going to have to agree with you on that. So anything that helps, maintain the infrastructure and keep these going. Okay, what do I got? Obviously, got a shout out to all the patrons that's out there. Again, we got a little, the little ticker down at the bottom that has their names. You could get your name added to that. If you haven't had your name added to that, you can go to shadowpackwest.com, hit that become a patron button, and head over to Patreon where you can start your patronage as little as $1 a month, and you'll get access to obviously all of our shows here, some inside content, and on the Patreon, it's over 20 episodes of before the scene or behind the scenes and after dark episodes where we get a little bit more nitty gritty, a little bit more loose with our lips. And then, of course, we talk a little bit more in depth on some of the topics that are sensitive. So go ahead and check that out. I want to say thank you to all the patrons, and let's go ahead and give them the horns. And let's get on with the show. But again, before we do that, Mr. Krinlee, what do we got to do first?
As always, we got to do what's in your cup. And I got a little something different today. So you still got to figure out my normal drink. It's still there. It's in the videos. Go check it out. But this is what I got tonight.
And what Tropical
Beer Hug. Tropical Beer Hug. Of course, it's an IPA, because that's, if you know me, that's kind of my thing. 9.9%. So After Dark should be interesting.
Yeah. Come check us out.
All right, Njord, what is in your cup, brother man?
I have my traditional, Jameson Black Barrel.
Black Barrel in the house.
But I got a new cup.
That cup needs the horns too.
It is a horn.
There you go.
The cup comes with its own horns.
That's right.
All right, Sensei, what's in your cup, sir?
Today I'm doing something a little different. I'm following Mr. Krinlee's. I got me an IPA. It is Voodoo Ranger Tropic Force.
Okay.
I'm a little
That's
9.5%.
That's a big can.
Yeah. It's a tall boy, so you can see it, You're gonna crack that thing open. Let me hear it. Let me see. See what this thing.
Okay.
It's funny. I kind of heard it, but I didn't hear the pop.
That's why I did the.
Oh yeah.
Is it? Okay.
Well, that's good. Oh,
Okay.
that's good, Mr. Krinlee.
All right, so I was gonna get a little crazy, but I'm lightweight, so and I gotta be at work super early in the morning. So I just got a new cup, and no, it's not a Stanley, but it has water, ice, and Mio, a little Mio, little water flavor thing in there.
I hear you.
So yeah, and you know what? I'm gonna shout out to this little cup. It's called Crave. I found it on Amazon. It's only $20, so I didn't spend $45 on one. And it's like a Stanley, but what I like about it, because the wife has a Stanley, she actually has two, is the bottom actually has a rubber bottom.
Huh. Okay.
So that when you put it down, it doesn't make a big clink. And it's been holding the ice and all that. I mean, I really like it. And what I'm gonna do with this, I'm gonna put some stickers on it or something like that. But anyway, shout out to my new cup.
Yeah, I got a sticker you can put on there.
Right.
Do the Stanley cups? They don't have the rubber bottom.
No, they don't. They're metal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and they're expensive. They're like $35-$40.
On the low end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't get you can get a designer one, and it'll
You
be
get one of these for like $30 or $40. This is a
Right.
Dude, I have one of those. I have one of those.
right.
Hey, and it comes with your compass and all the shit on there, you know?
Right.
If you get lost.
So
You got the same one, Mr. New York?
Yeah, and it's sitting in my my work truck in my foreman bin, right? You get
Triple insulated?
Oh, absolutely. I can put a couple bottles of wine in that and I'm good to go. I mean, water. Sorry.
Water.
Okay. All right. You know what, Krinlee, before the show started, you said you had something to share. I just want to make sure you got a chance to do that before we got started.
Sure. Yeah, so I was thinking here a little while back, back when I was a kid, look it up, and like helicopters would fly by, and it would just be like, man, that's so cool. But then here recently, after these recent events with Hurricane Helene, and seeing helicopters go by like 5-6 times in just a couple hours, and just knowing what they're doing or what they could be doing, because there's a number of things. They could be dropping supplies off, help rescuing somebody from somewhere that no one can get to. Like, it just kind of changed my outlook on it, where like I was thinking about it, just how it used to be so cool, and now it's just kind of like, man, that's kind of sucks to see that much traffic.
Yeah.
And I was wanting to know if you guys had a similar kind of thing,
Growing up?
or just like that you think about when you think about it now, it feels different than like when you thought about it as a child.
Well, are we talking about like emergent? Because like one of the big things that has come back up, at least in my streams, is the '89 earthquake, the Loma Prieta earthquake.
Oh, yeah.
And because that was October 11th, I believe, in
It
'89.
was during the World Series.
Right. And so it's interesting because, I work at a transportation agency out here, and the Bay Bridge was down. And at the time, and again, this is before my time, before I went to go work there, that was the only way they could get from the East Bay to the West Bay. So they shut it down for patrons, and it was emergency services. That's how they got fire department and police department to and from the East Bay into San Francisco. And then I take a look at what we do, and it amazes me. At first you're just like, oh, okay, this is what we do. But now looking at it, it really amazes me, like what we do, and it changes my perspective on that. And I remember growing up, I'd watch, oh, okay, that's cool, and now that I actually work for the company and seeing what they do behind the scenes and seeing what happens and what needs to happen, especially because we're considered first responders too, and so if something happens. Major earthquake or major disaster, we're emergency service workers. We have to go to work. We have to report and call into work to see if they need us to come in. So, yeah. I mean, so as far as like the helicopters, and you thought they were just cool or whatever. Now seeing what they have to do, what they are doing right now. I mean, for me, it brings a bigger appreciation for it.
Right.
Than when I was a kid thinking how just cool it was. We good there? All right.
Anybody else got anything?
I got so, and again, I know I've kind of preached about water, right? But you know, when I lived in California, I was always they have you sign the thing saying that you're an emergency personnel, right? And I never had to experience that ever. But what I meant by Vermont being listed officially as first responders, they are now added to like the same category as fire, police, and EMS. So like they get the discount on everything, right? Which I mean that's kind of like a good little pat on the back for those of you guys who are like, you know, we do this but we don't get part of it, right? But I finally experienced myself what signing that piece of paper saying you're required to do. Not this past March, but the March before, we had a F3 tornado tear through Little Rock.
Ooh.
And this was a place where people were like, "Oh no, they never hit here. They always go up north of us." You know, last decades it's never hit, and it just. I watched it, like from a mountain, just go straight through. The amount of work that we did that we had to go through. Did he go like dark, or is he still there?
No, I'm still here. I just
Okay.
had a problem with my screen.
Okay. We actually had to get out there, turn off water, turn off places for different people, so homes that were destroyed are not just flooding as well, right? I mean, the clearing roadways, pulling our machine out to remove trees and debris and all of that gives a whole new meaning to that. Hey, you're an emergency first responder. You know what I mean? So that I have to jump on the board with Sean on that one.
Yeah. I don't have anything. I'm sorry. I got nothing. But I do got some interesting facts.
Go for it.
That I learned about hurricanes. So did you know that before 1970 that all hurricanes were mostly they were women names? You know that?
Okay.
Instead of so you know when women fought for rights and everything else after what is it, the civil rights movement and everything else, that's when they started incorporating men's names. So now it can be men and women's names. Well, the reason was because they basically saying that women they didn't want to think of women as these terrible, you know, things or hurricanes. They're always coming to destroy something, right? Yeah, it's crazy. So these facts is crazy. So and now they have them in 3 different languages as well. So now you know shit, I forgot exactly what the languages was, but one is in Spanish, the other one is English, and there's another language that it's in. So they name the hurricanes men, and they alternate between men and women, and they name them in 3 different languages.
Okay.
Because you know you had I know you had Spanish. We had what was it? The Katrina? Not Katrina, but
I know we had El Nino back in the day, but that was kind of different.
El Nino. There you go.
Well, El Nino is still a season. El Nino and La Nina is a season.
Yeah, but those are some interesting facts about hurricanes. And when you brought that up earlier, I was like, oh shit, you know, it's something new I learned. You know, I watched that boy Neil deGrasse Tyson. He be preaching on that science.
It's funny.
But I ain't got nothing that's like super nostalgic for me that I can like come off the top of my head and think of. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
We still got a full topic to do.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get to it. Okay, so again, it's about, you know, what did we do when we were kids with our parents that you remember that it was just like, I want 5 more minutes, you know, 10 more minutes. And then of course, what's something that you would like, you to share with your kids that, brings them excitement where they're like, hey, I would like to stay just a little bit longer. Who's going first?
Well, I guess since I ain't had nothing for the other topic, I guess I can go first. Hey, when we've taken the kids to like Disney World, but they've never been to Disneyland, and that was my place, you know. And I ain't gonna lie, I don't think I ever told my mama I need one more minute. It was jump how high, so it was never. My mom is not the person you tell you need one more minute. But I would love to enjoy and show them that magical place. Of course, it's ridiculous to go to these places now. The prices and just seeing if they were going to make some kind of special so when I went, which was cool, the animals or the animals, the people walked around in the suits, and you get to take pictures or whatever, however you wanted to. I got heck of pictures when I was young, with Goofy, Snoopy, all the characters, Darkwing Duck, which by the way was one of my favorites.
Oh yeah, mine too.
Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. I mean,
They're still active.
Yeah. So this is at Disneyland, and I'm like, okay, we don't have that now. You got to wait in these long ass lines, and now Disney is making it to where you can spend $400 a day and get the mega pass that is skip you right in front of the lines. They already got a pass that can get you there.
Right.
But now they saying it's $400 per person. You can get in front, not just front, but you can get in front.
Right.
Oh, and then you wait in the line with the other people who want to get in front.
You're front.
And the sad thing is, like, if you got real little kids, like, you have to get 2 tickets because you're not sending them by themselves.
Oh no, yeah, everybody got to get tickets because you going too.
I know.
So I will say, my daughter has probably gone to Disney. I live in Arkansas, and my daughter's been to Disneyland more than most people have in their entire lives.
If you've been once, you've been more than I have.
I've been to Disney. I've been to Disney World 3 times.
My daughter is 3, and she's probably been to Disneyland 8 times.
Yeah.
Wow. Is your wife a big?
It's more than twice a year.
Well, yeah, and her family lives in Anaheim, right?
Oh, okay.
So when we go out there twice a year, and it's like, okay, hey, I mean, that's kind of what we do. We go to Disneyland,
Not having to pay to stay somewhere and everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
For me, that's one of the nostalgic things that has changed. Well, I would love to show my kids, but I know it's changed a whole lot. But we're gonna get there. We're gonna find a way. Especially when it's the little one we're waiting on for him to. He's only 4, so he ain't gonna remember it. We want him to remember this one.
Oh no, I'm gonna tell you right now. Mine's 3, and we've been getting asked, when are we going to the castle?
Yeah, but you remember anything when you were 2? When you were 3?
I mean, there are some things that I do remember.
Right. It's a little foggy, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah. So that's my thing. I'm we just
I got you.
about 6, 7. That's when I think that's when a good time to really. I want them because this shit is expensive. I really want them to remember this shit.
and you know what though? The other thing too is though when the endurance, I can't. I mean, walking around Disney for 2-3 days. My kids, they can't stand in lines right now, so that's why we're waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, they not walking nowhere. I'm tired. My feet hurt. Oh, yeah, I feel you. That's another reason too. That's a good one. That's a big major one.
Right.
And your daughter's been to Disneyland 8 times. She knows what the castle is. I mean, I don't remember eating cereal as a 4-year-old, but I know I did. I did it enough to know.
Okay.
But so yeah, that's cool though. I'm glad she gets that experience.
Right.
Yeah, me too.
That's wild.
Great.
Okay. All right, Krinlee, you want to go next?
Sure, I'll take.
All right, what you got?
Well, like Sensei, like I don't remember really ever being like, I need 5 more minutes. It was pretty much my dad said it's time to go. It's like, okay, let's go.
Let's go.
uh,
Take your ass.
um, but when I don't know, I guess one experience I would like to do with my kids, and we've not done it yet. So, but I want to is Legoland. It's a lot, not like Sensei's, but I want to go to Legoland. I don't want to go.
Yeah.
I think it's one in Florida. Like I want to go. I think it's in Japan. They have one, and it is off the chain. I'd love to go there.
Carlsbad too.
I've been to that one,
California.
Yeah, we went to that one too. I like that
nice.
one. Yeah, personally, I like that one.
It's a little cheaper than Disneyland.
But just
oh, man.
right. Okay.
All right.
So for me, I mean, we'd go shopping at the mall, and I mean, my dad was a no nonsense man himself, and but yeah, I mean, like being at the mall, that's one thing I remember doing. We go shoe shopping. Like, we didn't have a lot of money. So Disneyland was not something I went to. I think I got took there once on a family trip when we were smaller. I think it was like 6 or 7. And we went to Universal Studios because I can remember the shark. Like, you take the little trolley and then there was that shark that looked like you'd fall into the water or whatever. I remember that. But going to the shopping mall, like that's what was one of the things I remember. Like we go to the shopping mall for like, shoes. Go to Mervyn's. Mervyn's, California before they closed down.
Mervyn.
Right.
Oh man, you bringing me back, man. They had everything in Mervyn's.
Right. And so going to the mall was one of the things that, let's go into one more store. And again, we, just went in there for the regular stuff, but we ended up going and just having a good time. Like we go to the food court, and I remember my dad's thing was going to Sabaro's, which is a pizza place. I don't know if you guys have those back east.
Mm-hmm.
And in the mall, and they had like stuffed pizza. So you get like a stuffed pizza. That was like one of my dad's favorite things. But going to the mall to me was like a, can we go into this store and go into that store and da 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 da. And, so that was my thing. Now I'm going to tell you, we live in a rural, I don't know if it's considered rural, but we live out of the Bay Area, and they have like pumpkin patches and little farm stuff out where I live, and
Yeah.
when my kids get super excited about that kind of stuff, and they want to go jump on bales of hay, or they want to go mess with a chicken or something like that, like to me those like memories. I'm like, and they're like, oh, do we have to go now? Do we have to do this? Do we have to do that? And I'm like, yeah, okay, 5 more minutes, 5 more minutes. And then anything my daughter wants, oh, go ahead, baby. Whatever you need, we'll go ahead and, we got 5 more minutes. We got 10 more minutes. But like spending time with them and watching them. And like I said earlier, when they really get excited, when they really see something that they think is so cool, and we're just as adults like, all right, it's a makeshift bull or something like that.
Yep.
But
that's okay, man. That's I feel you. I'm go ahead, but I feel you.
Right. So I mean those kind of things. Like the wife today, when I was at work, she went to this farm stand that we got, and they had a little $5 pumpkin patch. And they wanted to go up in there. And then she took all these great little pictures that I wish I could have been there for. But they genuinely get excited about climbing up on top of bales of hay and running around. And I guess they had like a little sand pit filled with corn with little, what are those things called? Little excavators. And so they could
an excavator.
And so, yeah, they get super excited about that. And when they want to do those things, I'm going to give them 5 more minutes. Okay. I'm gonna give them 5 more minutes. So that's the one of the small things that I wanted to imprint on them, and hopefully they could remember these things and be like, oh, I remember when we used to do that. So
my turn.
That's all I got. Njord, what you got?
So I grew up with a dad who really enjoyed video games, right? So my father actually worked for Xbox for numerous amounts of years. So we had like the newest, greatest consoles and all that. So playing video games was my 5 more minutes, which weird. I became a streamer. And I remember I'd get in trouble, right? Like, you can't watch TV or this or that or at my mom's house, and she'd come home and I'm playing my PlayStation on the TV. And I specifically remember this. And she's like, "What did we tell you? You can't be watching TV." "Mom, I'm not watching TV. I'm playing TV." Right? I was a loophole artist, okay? What can I say? She couldn't even be mad. She actually laughed.
Right.
She's like, I mean, he's not wrong. That's when my mom found out she had to be very literal with
What she told me.
Yeah. But I came home the other night late from work to a sight that filled my heart with joy. I walked through the door, right? I'm covered in dirt, and there's my wife and my daughter playing Mario Kart on a Wii.
Aww.
On the TV.
Nice.
Okay. So that was her first time. I mean, she's not doing anything, but she's got her own controller. She's making her own character go, right? Like, that was like her first experience playing video games, and I got to play around with her before it was time for bed. So it was, of course, she wanted 1 more minute.
1 more minute.
Right.
Which turned into 7, which turned into 10.
Well, it was way past her bedtime as it was, so
I know.
yeah. But yeah, that's video games was always my 1 more minute, my 5 more minutes, you know, and she got to experience that for the first time the other night, and I was like, that's awesome.
Yeah. Now, let me tell you. So I didn't have that leeway. My kids got the leeway though. I'm with you. The tablet, you know,
We don't have one.
She called it. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, we got tablets. They get to watch them periodically on the weekends. Lately, they ain't been watching them. We just been watching family shows. Mm-hmm. But it's always, before they got to go to bed, it's always, look, hey, can we get 5 more? Can you, like we discussed earlier, can you start a timer? You know, 5 more minutes. Oh, I want to hear, they want to hear the timer go off.
Right.
You know?
So our thing is,
we try that.
We actually don't, the only time that she gets a tablet or something like that is if grandma gives it to her on her night to watch her, or if we're going on a long road trip or a plane ride. Otherwise, we actually don't own one. Okay. Grandma owns one.
Got you. I remember you was telling us that too. Remember?
Yeah, I'm okay with it, but remember the compromises from our first season.
Right. No. You on point. You on par though. They don't need it. They don't need it.
They really don't.
Yeah.
You know,
but
they do just fine without it. It just takes more time for. It makes it to where you have to put more time and effort into spending more time with them. That's it.
So I've got
watch your family show.
I've got another dad win activity or parent win activity that we did that kind of filled the entire, like, God, yeah, this is a parent win. You know, my daughter is a huge Bluey fan, like biggest Bluey fan ever, and we went to California like 2 times ago, and there's there's a company called Camp that puts on like different experiences, right? And they did a full-blown Bluey experience, right? Where you go to this place, they take you behind a secret door, and it turns into they reconstructed the actual healer house inside here. Like, I'm talking all the rooms, all the games, the pictures. You open up the cabinets, and it's filled with stuff that they'd have there in the show. I mean, it was immaculate. And
Shadow
as
Max?
soon as There was a Chattermax, yes.
Chattermax, yeah. Oh my god.
Okay. The people were actually putting on games that Bluey and Bingo play, like Keepy Uppy or
Keepy Uppy, yes, with the
freeze
balloon.
tag and all of that. Or dance mode. You know what I mean? Like they were.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, the whole thing about it is like the idea was you were playing hide and seek with Bluey and Bingo, and as the kids were exploring the house and all of that, they had these LCD TV screens like mounted into a wall, right, kind of hidden, and Bluey and Bingo would pop out real quick on the TV screen, and then they would kind of go away, and you haven't found them yet. But the best part was at the end of your hour experience, they take you into the healer laundry room, right? And we were the very last ones, and you go through, and then you make a right into another special room. We're the very last ones. I know what's around the corner because I can just assume, right? And so we get out a phone, start recording, and you see my daughter walk around the corner, and she sees like life-size Bluey and Bingo in costumes, and the face she makes and the excitement and the joy, you can't recreate stuff like that. I mean, that's just immaculate. It was awesome.
That's awesome. And it's those things that, that's what I was saying. Like those things where they're genuinely like excited and happy. Like as they get older, they lose that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, they're just like, oh, okay. Oh, they're in costumes, blah, blah, blah. But like to see that and record, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah.
You know, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
I had that experience with my daughter at 2 when we took her to Disney World, and she seen Daisy.
Mm-hmm.
And Daisy held her hand and walked there. We got it all on film and everything. Like she's like, okay, so yeah, she might not remember it, but we're gonna have it on film. So that's cool.
I've got that with Minnie Mouse this last time she went.
Yeah.
Because there's all of a sudden that cognitive knowing of who that person is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's when like the magic comes alive.
Right.
Yeah. That's cool, man. This is a good topic.
Yeah. You know, I mean, just, again, it's about being dads and just seeing that and knowing and, you know, not, again, like what we do every day to provide and protect our family. And some people, that's all they know. And, you know, they do it so much that they miss out on those things. And it's just like, we have to remember that, yes, I get it. We got to pay the bills. But you know what? Sometimes you got to steal from Peter to pay Paul just so you don't miss out on some of these things.
Hey,
You know?
I mean,
preacher.
that's something that I have started finding out, right? With having a stay-at-home mom, right? I'm working more, right? So I'm missing more.
Yeah.
And when I do get to see these things, it just makes it worth it.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
And one thing you was talking about, Sean, that reminded me of like the 90s, man. Walmart. The 90s in Walmart, like you had the game system, there was a screen there, and you had a controller here, and you could stand there and play.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, come on, kid, we gotta go. It's like, hold on, I'm about to do this.
Yeah, right?
So yeah, that's my 5 more minutes right there. Walmart game systems.
Okay.
Yeah, man. So yeah, I mean that's basically what we got, guys. You know, for you dads out there, one of the things for this episode that I wanted to bring out was getting back to the kids, getting back to who we were as kids, and kind of trying to remember that, but also remembering that, hey, you know what, we as dads, and again, I know you guys out there hustle, because I've been busting my ass these last couple months, and I need to tell myself I need to start taking time off. And, again, just like I shared earlier, my wife took the kids to a little pumpkin patch thing. And, just to see them out there playing and having a good time, I get it, And just like what you said, Njord, you're a stay-at-home mom, you're at work more often, and that means you miss more. And I just want to remind us as dads and, the listeners that are out there, is that time goes by so fast. And we need to literally... Again, I know with my daughter, that's the last 6-year-old I'm ever going to have. So, I got a 6, and he's the son's 8. I have a 20-year-old. He's gonna be 20 this year or 21 this year, and it went by so fast.
Yeah.
And just again, guys.
Dog.
Yeah.
Mine here right now, downstairs. Fresh in from Dago, man.
Yeah, so just again, take time for yourself, take time for your family, and I know it's not easy, especially in this economy, especially what's going on right now in the world. We want to sit here and provide and protect and do all that we can, but we don't. I just want to remind you why we do it, and you need to enjoy it as well. As a dad, you need to enjoy it. As father advocates that we are. I want to remind all of you, out there that's listening, your presence and you being there, they'll probably remember that more than what you bought them. So all the money in the world that you make, and you're buying them all these presents, and you're getting them those tablets or those toys, I guarantee you spending time with them is going to be something that's more memorable than what you could buy them, especially
which that's kind of a bringing it back to like my father, right? For the longest time, he's always been about, hey, I got you this. Hey, I got you this. Hey, I got you this. Especially into our late teens and into adulthood, right? Any new spouse that came in that married one of his sons, they got him drowned in gifts during Christmas, right? But this year he's doing something different. He's looking to take us all to Costa Rica. Right, so an experience, something that we can remember instead of. Now we're paying for airfare and all of that jazz. Don't get me wrong, but he's like, hey, I've got the resort, right. Because I want to see my grandkids and my kids and all of that have this kind of fun. This is what I want to do. You guys let me know if you're in, right. So I see that shift, and I think it's awesome.
Right. And as we get older, that's what we want. A young man's sport is I need something new. I need the latest and the greatest. I need the latest toy. And as we get older, we want to surround ourselves with people that are like-minded, people that are, good people, people you could trust, people you have a good time with, and have everybody be happy. You know what I'm saying? As I know for sure, that's how I feel. Right. I think I'm the oldest one in the group. Besides Chiron, Chiron, he granddaddy status already. Shout out to Chiron if you're listening.
I mean, technically you could be too, but
hey, me and Sensei could be.
Technically, could be.
Right.
Lord help me.
Right. All right. Well, again, thank you for your time, guys. It's always been a pleasure. We are going to be hitting up our After Dark episode here. So again, if you guys haven't, head over to shadowpackwest.com, hit on that, become a patron. You go to our Patreon page, start your patronage as little as $1 a month, and you get access to our After Dark episodes. We get access to our behind the scenes. So again, it's about over 20 episodes there. If you want more shenanigans with us, you could do that. Before I cut this off, does anybody got any last minute shout outs they want to throw out there before we start our After Dark?
Nope. Good to go.
Okay. All right. So again, thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Dad's Life Podcast. Hopefully you guys tune into next week's episode of the Dad's Life Podcast, where you can get your dad life.
Dad
advice.
Oh man, we're getting better at that.